Dog 97.9. Let's begin.
We start with the first laugh. Dwight, Slade on people who argue on how cold it is.
I don't know if it's cold to you people. I don't know. Don't want to get into it with Minnesota people. All right, I've already been through that 3 times this week. I'm like, man, it's freezing. Oh, you think this is cold? Oh, boy, here we go. You should have been here in 1970. 275 below zero. I'm not lying. I went ice fishing up at Lake Okanagan. Cut the end of my damn thumb off. It froze up like a Tootsie Pop. I had to blow it back to life. I had to suck my own thumb back. That's cold, you son of a... I was eating Bengay to keep warm. You want to go time? You want to try me? Now what do you want to say to me? All right, sir, you win. You win the cold award. Don't patronize me till you've been up at Lake Okanagan.
97.9, time for...
The Morning BJ. Good morning, Jules.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning. All right, what do we got?
How do you make a waterbed bouncier?
He has an idea.
Let's hear it. What is it?
Yeah, tell us.
An up and down motion.
I think that's, in a waterbed, a lot of slosh, I think. It's not bouncy. I don't know. How do you make it bouncier?
You add spring water.
Oh, that's good.
That's what you need.
It's the spring water.
Yes. Thank you, Jules.
The Chris Purple, Hayes, and Bobby Show.
Big Dog 97.9 today, President's Day.
Yes, indeed it is. Kids all over the nation celebrate today as they are out of school. You adults, well, you'll go into work like normal.
Now, a lot of people call it Washington's birthday because I think it's actually Washington's birthday today, but they kind of lumped all the presidents into this day.
Isn't Abe's around now, too, though?
It is pretty close, but they moved his around. Yeah. One of his famous quotes is actually, Washington was the GOAT.
Abe said that?
Yeah. He was 6'4". He never played basketball. He preferred studying. He passed away on April 15th, 1865, of the gunshot wound to the head.
Oh,
Coincidentally, by the way, April 15th would then become the tax deadline.
Yeah. So.
Coincidence? I think not.
No.
There's a tie right there.
We need a really sad day in our history that we also make people pay taxes. How about the day Abe Lincoln was shot?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that's not quite happened, you see a lot of President's Day, Abraham Lincoln ads for sales and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, nobody's ever really written a song about Abe.
Which is a shame. He was a great man.
He was. Until now.
Abraham. An honest man lived in a cabin made of wood, and late at night by candlelight he did his homework like he should. 7 years is what he said at Gettysburg. He freed the slaves, he had a beard, and he spoke those immortal words. And then one day, while at a play, they put a bullet in his head, but that's okay, he lives on today. Lincoln's legacy's not dead. A, B is for the one that we call A, B.
That's LINCOLV.
Every day, people from all over the 4 states face problems. Some enlist this show for their unqualified advice. It's time for Chris Purple, Hayes, and Bobby to enter the Situation Room.
The situation, my boss has it out for me. I need advice. I work for a sandwich shop and my boss hates me. He blames me for everything and it's not fair. I know you're thinking that I might not be the best employee, but I have proof that he has it out for me. Every time a customer found a hair in their food, I get blamed. He even wrote me up 3 times for it. He's warned me that the next time I would be fired. Well, I'm not the only one with long, dark hair, and I always wear a hairnet every day.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had enough, so I dyed my hair purple. Just so I wouldn't get blamed when a customer found hair in their food again. It's a lot of people finding hair in their food.
I bet it happens pretty frequently. We're not at a restaurant. I don't know.
Maybe so. It happened again this weekend. A customer complained. My boss dragged me into the office. I listened patiently and calmly and then asked him how he knew it was me. He said, because you're the only one who makes sandwiches right now and you have long, dark hair, just like the customer found. So I asked if it was okay if I removed my hairnet. He looked surprised when he saw my purple hair and then said, yeah. So I did, as he stuttered. Okay, maybe it wasn't you this time, but you're still on notice. I'm watching you. Maybe you should start looking for another job.
Oh, he told her that? Ooh.
Her or him.
Oh, right.
So what should I do? There's no HR department. I could complain to corporate office, but I don't think that's going to end well. I would probably make things worse. My dad says I should file a harassment suit against him, but it sounds like a hassle. I'm kind of stuck here. What should I do?
So I would go job shopping for one. There's probably, if you work in a restaurant setting, there's surely others that could probably use help if you want to cook or you do that sort of work. Probably plenty out there. The suit does seem like a big hassle. That seems like, I don't know. I've not been through that, but it does seem like that'd be some hoops to jump through. But when I found my new job, I would quit through corporate. I would call them and go, hey, I'm quitting, and here's why. And then let them go ahead and look into that, dude. And they may try to talk you out of it or whatever. Nah, I'm good. I know what kind of place you guys are. This is who you want to represent and who you want to have run your thing. I'm out. Thanks, but no thanks. I would try to go that route. I think you can find another job. What say you?
I say find another job.
Yeah.
I had this happen to me. I had the assistant manager hired me for a fast food job like a long time ago. I had long hair back then. And he was gone. The main manager was off on vacation. Comes back, and he harassed me the whole time. Like, I couldn't do anything right, even though I was perfectly fine until he got there.
Yeah.
But he didn't like, and one of the guys goes, yeah, you're going to have to cut your hair.
Yeah.
He didn't like people with long hair. I used to have long hair, and he hated me. Cut my hair, changed his attitude towards me. And I went, I'm not cutting my hair. So I found a new job. You just get another job. Move on.
You honestly,
and then if you want to file the suit at that point after you quit, you can do that, but quit through corporate. I'm with you.
it's kind of hard to probably make that proof in the suit, but there is documentation of it. I hope you like your purple hair. I really do, because I hate that you went to those lengths if that's not what you wanted. You know what I mean? Just for this job, screw that. There's other jobs out there.
Yeah. And you can tell him what you feel as you leave.
Oh, yes.
Now, the thing is, you got to remember that might catch up to you. But anyway, it's
I think it'd be hard not to.
Quit and get another job.
Yeah.
Are you ready, kids?
Ha! What a dumbass.
Dumbass.
What the hell's your problem, you dumbass?
What a dumbass.
Great moment there, dumbass.
Have you ever had to write your name on your food so a roommate or coworker wouldn't eat it?
I don't think it really works usually, but I've been in that scenario.
Because sometimes they just don't care.
Right. Yeah.
Well, last week, an older guy in Fort Myers, Florida, bought a key lime pie for his elderly mom's birthday party that was coming up.
Oh.
He put it in the fridge, told the guy that lives with him not to touch it, even told him in person.
Yeah.
But last Wednesday, he was sitting in his recliner when he saw the roommate dig it in. The roommate is 74. And he didn't just take a slice, he ate the entire pie himself.
Wow. That's a lot.
The guy who bought it yelled at him and asked why he didn't at least save him a slice. Apparently, the guy responded by dumping 2 large glasses of water over his head. The cops eventually showed up, arrested the guy. He faced charges for battery on a person 65 or older, which is a worse charge, by the way.
Battery on a senior citizen is a thing. I mean, I guess that's deservedly so.
So mom's like 100.
That's what I'm thinking, too, yeah. Yeah, mom's got to be up there.
You got a roommate? You're 70-some?
You had to... God, I bought key lime pie because she can't even chew cake anymore.
Yeah. Chicken gum then.
Yeah. That sucks. I mean, it is possible that he just forgot. He's 75. Like, I forgot. I just woke up and thought we had a pie in the fridge. Regardless, I don't know. I'm going to go with the pie eater. He's the dumbass.
What a dumbass.
Big Dog 97.9. There's the newest emoji update. Includes a high five, which raises the question, when should you use it? I have some thoughts,
Okay.
as you will see on my list today.
Great.
Top 6 text you should use the high five emoji to respond to. The top 6 texts you should use the new high five emoji to respond to.
Okay.
Number 6, I'm not pregnant.
That's a good one.
Number 5, the cat ran away. No. Number 4, the kids are spending the night at mom's tonight.
That's a good one. Yeah, high five.
Number 3, my husband/wife gone. Come over.
Just make sure you send it to the right person.
Yeah. Number 2, our rich aunt died.
God rest her soul.
Top 6 texts you should use the new high five emoji to respond to. Number 1, I made it back from Mexico with the stuff.
No, don't put that in anything they can trace.
There's your top 6 list today.
The Chris Purple Hayes and Bobby Show.
Big Dog 97.9. Death Pool 2023. It sounds like possibly or potentially the first loss might be going to you, and it kind of ties into President's Day.
Yeah, too bad.
It is very bad.
Over the weekend, announcement was made. Jimmy Carter is going to go on hospice care. And it's like a voluntarily on hospice care sort of situation. Jimmy, former president, is 98 years old now.
So you will have 2 points against you if he does pass away this year, which it does sound like
Usually that's
we might lose another president.
not real positive. So far, I'm just now recovering from the wings that I ate, a month and a half ago?
Uh-huh.
They were terrible. And it messed with my guts, Chris can attest, for about 2 days.
Yeah.
It
now,
was
we
a
haven't
while.
said if that's going to be what we do again this year or not.
No.
So we'll have to come up with something because it did mess him up. It messed him up really good.
I'll do it. It just, if it comes to that. We got a long way to go. And, of course, we are rooting for all of our death pool participants
to stay
alive.
It's
the people who lose the most in terms of years. The guy who loses the most in terms of years has to do the punishment. So
yes. So it sounds like you'll be the first on the board with the number.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah.
We'll get that up. I don't know if we got up our complete picks of 2023.
Yeah, we'll, you know what? We will, even if we did, we will refresh that so you can see who each of us have on the death pool for 2023.
Big Dog 97.9. The average size of men's junk increasing rapidly.
Really?
And this has nothing to do with some strange President's Day sale.
It's not a pump situation or anything like that?
Yeah, no weekend hot, deals on President's Day.
Okay.
Apparently, if you were born after 1994, you might be good. If you were born before 1994, not so good.
Dang it. God, I just barely missed this cut.
According to a new study out of Stanford Medicine, it claims the average penis length is 24% larger than it was 29 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. It seems like good news, right? Researchers, though, are very concerned because of the big change. In a relatively short period of time, they are worried about the ramifications on fertility. Urologist at the center of the study called for more research to confirm the trend. Scientists can start figuring out the cause of the changes. A lot of people think it's, all the chemicals in the food, the plants, the homes, the hygiene products, blah, 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 all that stuff. I say it's just
liars.
Yeah, because you're more likely to volunteer if you're like, oh, yeah, sure, measure away.
Are we measuring, or somebody measuring them, or are they measuring themselves?
That I'm not for sure.
Because we're also talking about the online generation that, like, life just seems like there's very much a competition, right, in social media age with a lot of younger people. So are they just lying about that too? I mean, that's something people have lied about far longer than social media.
I don't know if you can lie about it as much as you used to. I mean, now you've got the iPhone with the measurement tool on it that you can just use that right there. You just point it down and it'll measures it right out.
You say that like
hold on a second. You haven't used that? Big Dog 97.9. Well, actor, comedian, talk show host, author Richard Belzer passed away at his home in France. He was 78 years old. Most people know him probably as John Munch.
I think it was Munch.
Munch?
Yeah,
Munch.
I think it was Munch.
Law and Order. That's what he's best known for.
Yeah.
And he was in a lot of other things. There was Homicide, Life on the Street, a lot of comedy stuff, but he appeared the X-Files, I should say, Arrested Development, 30 Rock.
I think it's amazing. This says that Belzer played Munch on 10 different shows. So that same character, that's how many Law and Orders there have been.
Yeah.
And at least one episode of that, he appeared, I would guess, as that character. That's got to be some sort of a record, right? I can't imagine where there's the singular character that went across that many other shows that I know. Yeah.
Well, on the show, Hogan and Mr. T were promoting apparently WrestleMania. This was on a show, his Lifetime talk show called Hot Properties that he used to do in 1985. A lot of people, it didn't last long.
I guess not.
But if you were watching, Hogan and Mr. T were on there, WrestleMania. Well, Hogan put him in a front chin lock. Hogan decided to actually choke him out. Apparently, he went limp, hit the floor, banged his head. Blood was drawn. Apparently, he then turned around and sued Hogan and Mr. T in the World Wrestling Federation for $5 million. They settled for $400,000.
Wow.
He used it for the down payment on the house he passed away in France.
Oh, okay. Well, put it to good use, I suppose. I never knew that was a thing.
He's one of them actors that if you go look at a picture of him, you will go, oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You know exactly who he is.
Yeah, when you just say his name, I would never have known him. But big-time Law & Order fans might.
And a close friend, gotta love this, close friend of him said his last words were, quote, F you, mother effer. And then he died.
It feels on brand for that dude.
Yeah. Like he was the character in Law and Order.
Turns out he was never acting. That was just that guy.
Here's Rich Glitter.
This is not headline news. Today is President's Day. Fun fact, both Washington and Lincoln paid full retail for their mattresses. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania made $100 million over the weekend. This time, Ant-Man faces his toughest enemy yet, a can of Raid. Architectural Digest has named the best new structures of the past year. Topping the list, Madonna's new face. And Brittany Griner has signed a one-year deal with the Phoenix Mercury. After a tough ordeal in a Russian prison, Griner figures returning to the WNBA is the best way she can escape media attention and get some privacy. This is not headline news.
Big Dog, 97.9. How about some entertainment quickie for you?
All right, let's do this.
We're going to start off on a sad note. President Jimmy Carter entered hospice care. He is 98. Richard Gere hospitalized in Mexico with pneumonia, though expected to make a full recovery. Tom Sizemore from Saving Private Ryan, Pearl Harbor, and Black Hawk Down, critical condition after suffering an aneurysm over the weekend.
Man, why do you keep giving us all this down stuff?
Stella Stevens, the Poseidon Adventure, original Nutty Professor, passed away on Friday at 84.
Oh, man.
And Ray Liotta received a posthumous star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on Friday.
I'm surprised he didn't have one already, I guess.
Same here.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to some happier news. $118 million opening weekend. That's what Ant-Man, the Wasp, Quantumania got.
And of all those, when I asked you, you were like, I don't know. Don't care.
I still am. I haven't heard anything positive really about it.
$118 million. That sounds good.
Yeah, that's just people. We'll see what next weekend does.
Yeah.
Let's see. My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3 hits theaters September the 8th.
Oh, God, I've been waiting for years on this.
And a live-action Leo and Stitch is in the works for Disney Plus, starring Zach Galifianakis. No word on yet if he'll be Stitch.
I bet he will.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, Lilo's a little girl. It can't be. He's got to be Stitch.
Hey, flip it around. You do a little flipping around. Comedian Bert Kreischer once offered his daughter $10,000 if he could tell a joke about her on his any stand-up set, but she turned him down.
It must be something bad. She knows what it is.
Especially because, again,
$10,000.
if you've ever watched his comedy, he does talk about them.
Oh yes, 100%.
This must be very
so
bad.
This one's really embarrassing.
Ice-T got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on Friday. Metallica still owes Sammy Hagar $200 from a bet they made over 30 years ago.
$200? Come on, Metallica. You can't welch. You're Metallica. I know you have $200.
And in sports, NBA All-Star Weekend was over the weekend. I have no idea anything about it because I didn't watch anything. I just know it happened.
I know what they did. They didn't play any defense. It was like 200 to 300 or something like that.
Tiger Woods handed another player a tampon during the Genesis Open.
Heard about that.
It was supposed to be a harmless joke, which a lot of people, but a lot of people also got very offended by that.
Very much so.
He has apologized.
That's a guy thing to do on the golf course. The unfortunate thing, if you and I do it to each other, nobody's watching us.
Yeah, that was on TV.
Yeah.
Come on, Tiger. You should know better.
You got to know, man.
There's your entertainment quickie.
Are you ready, kids?
Ha! What a dumbass.
Dumbass.
What the hell's your problem, you dumbass?
What a dumbass.
Dumbass.
Not many people will go ballistic over cookies, aside from like Cookie Monster and this woman. 24-year-old woman in Florida went through the McDonald's drive-thru last Thursday. She wanted to get a free cookie, which apparently was being offered through their loyalty program.
Okay.
But she didn't get it. And she became enraged. She started yelling. And then she pulled a gun. She loaded it and started waving it around. Workers gave her a cookie, but she's still hot. She pulled into a parking space, stormed up to the door. Then employees called 911, tried to lock the door. She was able to force her way inside. There was a scuffle, but fortunately no one was seriously hurt. She has now been arrested, hit with multiple charges, including aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, battery, and resisting an officer. As it turns out, she is also the manager of a fast food restaurant, although police didn't say which one.
Oh, competing one, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's funny. It's a single cookie?
Yeah.
All this over one cookie.
I think there's more to it than that going on in her life. You're waving a gun around because of a cookie. You got more things going on.
You don't say.
I don't know. I don't know if I've had their cookies. Maybe they're just that good.
I have. They are good. Maybe the fast food wars are a little more competitive than I thought they were, like legitimate wars. I didn't know that was a possibility at those places. Regardless, you can't shoot somebody over a cookie, you dumbass.
What a dumbass.
Big Dog 97.9. Point of the show, we find out what we learned on the show today. Bobby, what did you learn?
Richard Belzer passed. I did know that already. The guy who played Munch on Law & Order, 10 different shows of Law & Order. His last words were, F you, mother effer, which seems fitting to the character.
Yes.
Doesn't it? So there you go. That's, I guess, how he would have wanted to go. What did you learn today?
I learned Jimmy Carter has gone into hospice, and you have him on our death pool, which means you might be taking the first loss in our death pool and have 2 points added to your total.
What a bleak Monday we had on the show. We had a lot of death talk today.
A lot.
Sorry about that. We'll try to be better tomorrow.
Not a good weekend for a lot of folks.
No. Let's share one more laugh. What do we have?
We have Dana Carvey on George W. Bush and Barack Obama.
It's such a dichotomy. It's a feather in America's cap that we went from W to Obama. Because W was, shall we say, plain spoken. You know, he'd say stuff like, I never heard a president talk like that. We got evildoers. It was like he was hitchhiking and surfing his entire presidency. Obama wouldn't say evildoers. He'd say something like, there are people in the world who disagree with our way of life and wish to do us harm. You mean evildoers? It's interesting, you know, with Syria to think about what our former presidents might have done. Like Ronald Reagan, faced with that, you know, be like, what? What'd they do? Well, fire away. Fire away with everything we've got. But, Mr. President, I said fire. Cruise missiles, Tomahawks, nukes, everything. Just fire away. Middle East is difficult. I give anyone credit, but Obama comes out and goes, we must attack, and that's exactly why we must not attack. Reagan's like, what the are you talking about?